Because the energy and supply crisis has once again demonstrated how easy it is for our lives to be disrupted by hitches in the supply chain. So, is consumer behaviour part of the solution? And would living more sustainably help resolve those big international supply chain issues? Jen, to you first of all. So, we are experiencing various supply issues. So, is there a green route out of this? And is there a way that consumers can help themselves?
I think consumers are going to have to get used to this. Global supply chains are only as strong as the weakest link. They're a chain like anything else. And climate change is going to lead to extreme weather events, droughts, and other shortages. So it might not be that we can green our way out of this or that consumers will just learn to do better. It's that we're going to have to learn to be more resilient and we're going to have to learn to deal with shortages popping up.
Do you agree, Mike, that we've just got to get our heads around it? Or is there something that we can do? I mean, everyone talks about shopping locally. I know there's one interesting statistic. Local deliveries emit less than half as much CO2 per item than online-only retailers. So can we take actions that will help ourselves?
Well, it's a bit of both. And there's definitely things that we can do as individuals and as a society to alleviate some of the problems that Jen's talking about. So, for example, the less energy we need to consume, the less we're going to be reliant on energy sources, some of which might come from other countries. The more of our own food we can produce ourselves, the less we'll be interrupted by supply chain problems. And, the less we get through, tons of material goods, we take some of the pressure off the system. But there's no doubt that, we need to change the way we live quite a bit. Most of the time we can do that in a way which, if we're smart about it, we can actually use it as an opportunity to improve the quality of our lives. It's not like wearing a hair shirt, but we do need to be creative and we change habits a bit.
Yeah, Jen, just a quick thought on that. It's got to be in people's interests, hasn't it? Because globalisation is out there. There's no putting that back in the tin, is there? Do people need to be motivated in some way to do the right thing?
I think people need to be motivated, but I think we also have to realize that everything Mike was just talking about is a systemic change. It's dealing with how we grow our food, how we move goods around the world, how we produce, how we consume. And that goes beyond what an individual can do in their own personal lives. It doesn't mean we're powerless and there's always things that we can do.
Okay.
It just means that we still have to keep thinking about how we can systematically tackle the climate crisis in a way that will be green and productive.